Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman, and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide, as outlined on the consenting website of divine-gpms.world. It is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on March 22, 2026 on divine-gpms.world meeting. We have with us representative and guardians all over the world. Agnes from Germany, Lodi from Philippines, Everson from Brazil. I'm Beatrice, I'm living in Canada, and also Eva from Philippines. So Rick is not with us exactly in this time because he's traveling. He sent a message. Probably he can come also in the meeting in the right time. We are waiting for him to come. Will be so great because we need our introduction discussion about the ascension. It is a very strong discussion about the ascension in these divine times. It seems that we are placed during the divine times exactly before weeks or months, not so far away from the God event. And what is happening this time in the world, it's extremely important. And also the guardian that we have today on GPMS meeting, they can speak what is happening on there, a part of the country, how people can see GPMS there. So in Canada and the United States, also all my contacts and everything that I saw in the last time, I can say that the political system is crumbling. So the people have no trust. This is, you may say, oh, but this is happening for so long time. Um, it's true, but at this time, many people started to focus on that because, as I saw also for a couple of videos, for example, from East Europe, especially in Romania, the people have no food on the table. Even though they are going to work, they are not able to get the pay. They are not paid for a couple of months, for example. Then they arrive after 3 months, do not have payment, then they cannot buy the food. And all the markets are crashing. So I spoke also with leader of GPMS in Romania. They are very focused also on the war of Iran, Israel, United States, and everything that is happening, because it seems that this may touch any time again their sites there, even on the East Europe. So we can see how the war has such an impact in every place in the world. So the people will start to see that. So we cannot just say we have to remove some people from a place, then we will be working here and adopt the things and everything will be good for us. This will not happen. So in the point where the humanity is at this time, when a war starts in some place, this affects so many places in the world, then basically the people cannot say, oh, I have my border like a door, then I close the door and I do not care what is happening there. So we have to care. And especially we have to become aware that the planet, it is a live rock and the rock reacts. So how the rock reacts when there is a lot of density because of the war and everything, all the markets are crashing. The react, it is all the time in the fire, in the earthquake, in the flooding. So this affects all area. For example, if I am in Canada and I will close the door like no people coming here from Iran because there it's a war and I do not care. So what will happen here will be enough on flooding, earthquake, and everything that will start to destroy based on the actual thinking and actual structure that the government has. It is all the time political and all the time kept the people on the illusion that the money are limited and they need to live on debt and the government has no money. So the government has a lot of debt on this current situation. The people will have no the funds necessary to rebuild and to start to care about themselves. So even that closing the door, I do not care what is happening in the United States. I do not care what is happening in Iran, okay? But I care what is happening here. So even if we care what is happening here, the situation cannot be solved on this way. Some people are saying, yes, but we can do a lot just to be led to do that. Okay, if this is coming on the way of the self-governance, this is coming on the way of the self-governance, but the people are not led by who? By this pyramid structure, by this political. So basically the people are to the limit that they have no trust on the political anymore, to the point that they are to the point to surpass this political, basically do not care about any kind of the political. So what I would say, from my point of view, because I cannot see, as Rick can see, he oversee all the ascension and everything. It seems, for example, if we had before 2020, we had the population more on an idea that nothing can be changed. Every structure it's fixed for so long time, and the change is not possible and everything. So this was the mentality and how the people saw the reality at the time. After 2020, so since 2020, everything started to crumble, and some people realized that something very bad is happening in the world, and the people started to rise up, and we saw a lot of protests during these years, since 2020 especially. And I would say that the people were able to see more through the system what is happening, and they started to uh, see some possibility how they can improve their situation. But because no, we were on the situation that all the time the truth was covered from the top, so the information was not let to pass inside of the system, then the pyramid that contains us 99% of the situation is of the population inside of the pyramid system was not able to have the right information what is happening with the humanity, that the humanity was under a weapon with all the injection and everything. So because all the head and so basically all the top was part of, many are saying that it's not human, and it's not human, and it's not on the good direction. So basically it is about the alliance that they have not the good intent for the humanity and everything. So they do not follow the cosmic law, the universal law and everything. So then the reaction started from the base of the pyramid, where the population started to wake up and started to see that there may be some possibilities to live better. But all the information that was coming from the top all the time was to suppress them and do not allow them to live better. Then the population started to question what is happening, because they saw there are possibilities, but at the same time, they cannot touch on these possibilities. Then the people started to see the structure. Then all the truth started to get out. For sure, we are for so long time helped by the good extraterrestrial, in order to have this information finally for everyone to be to start to be awake and to understand what is happening and to start to organize in another way. But not so many were looking towards the freedom movement because, or even that they were looking in the past, they were not able to see the freedom movement as truth because all the system was still running on the pyramid structure with the television and all the mass media that informed them something very different. Then in 2026, it seems to me, then when this pyramid system start to crumbling because of the earthquake, flooding, and everything, this influence a lot of economy, that it is a debt-based economy that has no money to put on the project for the humanity and for the planet. So at this time, everything that is happening, it started to be chaotic. Then the people are not let on their time to peacefully rise up and to peacefully start to understand what is happening. So basically, they are forced right now to understand what is happening around them. Then from this understanding, a reaction may come anytime in time. So if we are looking in the past, like before 2020, when so many people believe that the humanity has no any other possibility, we have to live like it is, everything is fixed, like fixed in stone. So there are structured institutions for so long period of time, and we depend on them. We have to beg them for the change, or if we see something, we have to prove and prove and prove to the infinite until probably somebody may hear us and somebody may change a little bit the law. During the 2020-2026, via the protest and the truth, that was the humanity was allowed to know the truth about what really is happening inside of the system, and there are good and bad extraterrestrial, and the humanity was basically under a negative influence and everything. So right now in 2026, on my opinion, I see more the people that become creative on the way how they describe that we can do things inside of the society, and many of us started to rise to the point. Then we understand that the actual system does not serve us, and how the change could be done. The people started to realize that the sovereignty, it's basically live directly under the God and do only good. So in simple wording. So this is also part of the cosmic law, universal law, natural law, do no harm. So the people started to discover the law of do no harm, but they are still not aware that this is a law. This is coming from themselves inside, so they discover what it is true, what it is right, what it is wrong inside of them. They started to know, they analyze and everything, but they were kept very, very busy inside of the system. Then when they are kept extremely busy inside of the system, they were not able to have a reaction, and they did not believe that those that are on the freedom movement will succeed because of the past experience of everything that happened in the past when the police intervened and put the people in jail, and the government started to come with laws. For example, in Canada, we have the C9 that it's giving right now to the truth definition as hate speech. So this is just an example, and the people and even some politicians started to oppose to that because basically the everything it is inverted, everything that it is like the definition of the hate speech, it is in reality the truth. So this reaction show me that the people are to the point to understand that they have the cosmic law, the universal law is nothing new. They discover this law inside of them, but they are not aware that GPMS is here. So do not fear because GPMS is here. And Rick George, he is the founder of GPMS, he guaranteed GPMS to happen for this world. But we need to unite in the correct direction. If we unite and all the time we are still keeping thinking that other politician, if we replace the politician, the bad politician with the good ones, and they will be doing the work and everything, when the population is coming on their divine power, and this is what it seems that is happening at this time, the population start to understand the self-governance. They are creative. They see possibilities. They see a lot. They will start to have a lot of idea. So basically, they become non-governable, but in the correct way. So they will see that those that the people put in power are not enough to think for 8 billion of the population of the earth. So in this situation, we need more round table. We discovered that we need more round table. Then the discussion may start in collective about everything that is happening in the system. At this time, every um, market it is involved, every industry it is involved and is crumbling. So the situation from the economic perspective, political, social, and also this influence of the planetary influence with the fire, earthquake, and also the flooding, that never stops. So the weather is kept on the hands of the God, the God that it is, the God of everything good since December 2024. And there where it is a high, um, it is basically like a pressure, like density, um, the weather start to react. So the weather is not keeping how can I say, the trend with what is called budget for all the institution and all the pyramid system and all political. So in this situation, the people started to see that any budget is not enough for everything that is happening. And maybe, I would say maybe, I hope that the people may start to see the money is unlimited. So, and the planet is so rich and beautiful. We just need to move in the correct direction as divine-gpms.world with the cosmic law. Then from there, everything it is possible. We'll have access to the resources. Money is unlimited. We have no problem. Exactly as I'm saying, why do you fear when GPMS it is here? So I would um, ask also the guardians to speak what is happening on their side of the world and how the people may see GPMS, because on Canada, United States, my opinion is that the people started to discover the power inside of themselves. They started to discover the self-governance, and there may be a reaction as soon as possible. So Lodi, how things are moving in Philippines?
Thank you for the opportunity and good evening, everyone. Um, in my observation, uh, in the Philippines, the corruption is very rampant, obviously, in the government since time immemorial, I should say. But right now, more of the citizens are getting aware and getting the information from people in the administration. And right now, with what happened with uh, uh, the biggest corruption that was exposed with a certain agency of the government, uh, even the current administration the president himself, uh, it was found out that he is involved, and a certain group from the military are now uh, exposing the previous activities on how the corruption took place and their own participation in the delivery of the money to certain politicians involved in the corruption. So people are now more aware, but not all have found that the solution is to get out of the crumbling system. So there are freedom fighters group also in the Philippines, and I am witnessing that they are active in social media. They were exposing the activities, but they don't have the solution. The absolute solution that we all know is agreeing and consenting to the divine plan through Divine-gpms.world. So those who are um, putting on their consents are among the grassroots who are experiencing the most miserable kind of life a human can experience here on earth. And those are the ones that we are connected to, and the guardians and representatives that are actively working with GPMS right now are those who have direct contact with those people, to the community, uh, who are not even aware what or why are the reasons they are suffering or experiencing such a miserable life here in the Philippines. So right now, um, as those who are actively doing the legwork for GPMS, continuously sending me the names, and I am of course happily assisting them. Um, they too are not, say, they have been experiencing some uh, deception. Uh, someone or some group are using, I say group because I it came to my awareness that it is not a sole person who is doing it, but they are somehow involved in a group. And as I have previously shared that several organizations are continuously enlisting and, should I say, deceiving those people in the grassroots of certain financial assistance from so and so are going to be distributed if they will secure a certificate or a membership ID for a certain amount. That's been going on for years, even before uh, 2020. Of course, during the um, lockdowns, some of them are receiving the financial assistance from the government. So they are really into it and expecting that those false promises of certain people, certain groups are coming true, but several years have passed. Um, they even during the election, they are very hopeful that the coming in the incoming president, and which is right now the current administration, will do the magic, meaning all the promises of those groups, organizations that are promising the financial assistance, once the current president get into office, everything, all of those money, all of those funds will be released to the Filipinos. They have a certain story about the interest of the gold, which belongs to the late president, and the interest of that gold will be distributed among the Filipinos. So that is basically the story, the narrative that's been going on with those organizations. So many Filipinos are believing those stories and narratives. So that's why I've been telling before that Filipinos are trained trained for enlisting in such kind of uh financial assistance. So that's why many of them, upon seeing GPMS, upon knowing that here is another hope that we can abruptly change our lives and we will live in abundance, in peace, in harmony and freedom, they really quickly and voluntarily um, are now with me working for GPMS. So, um, although most of them are expecting that it is will be happening soon, and most are now losing interest for some reason or another because of the pressure of what is happening and our current situation. But um, certain guardians, representatives, when I get to talk with them and explain what really GPMS is all about and how the divine plan is going to be implemented, uh, they become enlightened, and their hope and faith is boosted somehow. And so that's why fresh guardians, new people are coming in, and it GPMS is continuously shared, and it is spreading out throughout the country and to most of our deprived brothers and sisters on the grassroots of the community. So hopefully, yes, we can get the 1 million sooner, and with the domino effect that we are expecting, and we all know that once the virality point is reached and we can go on. It's the momentum that we are waiting for. So as I always said to some, uh, we won't stop until we get enough. That's all I want to share. And Rick is here, so good evening to.
Hi, Rick. Very, very welcome. I hope that you'll be here and today and also um do you know we started the meeting, but we missed you a lot because we need to know where we are today with the ascension, because the ascension, it is absolutely the most important for everyone that see this video for the first time. Divine-gpms.world, it's all about implementation of universal laws, do no harm worldwide. And we are on open public meeting with the founder also that is here today, Rick Jewers. He's High Priest of Melchizedek Order, and he can answer to our question where we are with all this ascension, because without the ascension, the people cannot see the truth. They cannot see the fiat system. They cannot absolutely see the debt-based economy that can change immediately. They cannot see the money is unlimited. They can absolutely not see that the wealth, it is concentrated in the hand of the few, or even that they start to see that they have no idea what to do. So we have the solution here. And exactly as I'm saying in the last time, why do you fear if GPMS is here? Just take it. So please let us know about the ascension, what is happening in the last time, because in my opinion, the people are more able to react, especially in Canada, in the United States, on the correct direction, because it is this chaotic situation that is happening right now with everything, all the markets that collapse, and they collapse at the same time. So everybody start to speak, why do we do not have jobs, or even that we have jobs, what we are doing because we are not able to cover the necessities, or we are not paid, or what is really happening in the world. So
All right. Well, thank you, Sister Beast, Kristen. Hi, everyone. And I shared, Sister, from your link, so we've got it running on Facebook on yours and mine this time, I believe. So we got a double whammy with it. um, and thank you, Sister Lodi. I was listening intently to your update. I was late coming in, and yeah, but you touched on that important thing again, and it's where so many thinks that gold or something is the value, right? And this is where we just got to get them out of that and say, no, you are the value. You know, gold would not have any value, but that is the same old story with it. And as we know, up and down, we've been on this road with GPMS, highlights, lots of excitement, then dips and then back up. Um, but having said that, when you take with the overall ascension, you know, everyone that is going forward, and again, that's about 6 billion at least, or no, about 6 billion on Earth that are ascending to some degree. Um, so again, when we look at that and we just take a quick worldwide view, what's been occurring in the last week, the last couple weeks, people are being pressured more and more. And prices are rising everywhere, but typically it's two men, and I put the post out earlier today, that are causing all of this harm for the other 8 billion on the planet, rising prices and all of this. And that's when it gets insane. And that's when the point should get home to everyone. So you're having all of these innocent women and children killed, inflation going sky high, and all of the suffering. And right at this point, it's two men that's giving the orders, but it's also the militaries that's obeying this, and they are accomplices to these crimes of killing innocent women and children. And with the international law and United Nations worldwide, they keep saying it. Yes, they're saying it. With Palestine, mass genocide. Look what's occurring now. But the thing is, see, there is no law to stop Trump and Israel and Iran other than the people themselves together as the majority. And this is where GPMS comes in, because what it does, when you have the majority, there's no longer power structures in politics like the governments that you have now, with people putting all the power into one person's hands. And that is the danger throughout antiquity, what people always did. And that's why you kept looping with wars, hardship, always struggling. But now we're in the unprecedented time, so that the people realize they are the power. They must come together to do what is right. And many worldwide, I'm looking at some of the social medias, and people are saying this is not right to be killing innocent women and children, and to be creating and attacking. They started the war, that's what they say, and causing all of this suffering worldwide. Before this war, everyone was suffering more and more because of inflation and what have you. But now, because of this war, it pushed things quicker. So, having said this, because of that, because of this, what is occurring, it's forcing people, yes, that they have to come with GPMS. Uh, Getting back with but this is the ascension, what I'm speaking about. I'm just speaking about that lower level of it, that the people need to come together. So ascension and GPMS, as we know, is so simple. However, it's that it's the cognitive dissonance, and also with the consciousness, that ones don't realize how simple it is. Like, it's and this is very simple. When we say, look, the majority, you voted these representatives in, but the majority worldwide can vote all of that out in an instant. And this is where they can't yet connect the dots, but they're being forced to realize that they got to. This cannot continue. This is savage, and it's criminal and everything. So with this is awakening more and more and preparing them to come in alignment with GPMS. But again, see, divine GPMS is a divine instrument. It is the first of its kind. It's unprecedented, and it's from the great compassion and mercy of God to give people the chance, so he would not need to bring the destruction. He has started to bring some of the destruction. Ones might want to say, oh no, that's just HARP doing that, it's climate change or what have you. But no, it's not. When they really study it, they can see that all of this has been prophesized, every bit of it. So then, if they take the time just to research a bit on their own, they'll be able to put these dots together to know it's not climate change, it's not um, whatever it is. No, it is the ascension. Um, and with this, what I need to also say, see, you've got huge communities out there. You've got ones that say they're awakened. Yes, they're awakened, but they're just not awakened yet to the level to realize that GPMS is their full uh, independence, their full sovereignty, in conjunction with all the other brothers and sisters. So they're not awake enough yet to realize that they have self-determination, which is already written in law, and that they have the power to do GPMS instantly. And then you have ones that are awakened, but they say that they are Christ consciousness, and they're not. If they're not with GPMS, they're not Christ consciousness yet to the degree. So they think they are, and they say they are, but I need to say, no, they're not, because they lack the information that this is the divine plan. This is the reason they're here to achieve the Christos Sophia consciousness. They're to have compassion, and they're to support the do no harm, the heaven on earth, the ascension. So when they're not doing that, and they're not here yet, this means no, they're not in the top Christ consciousness with the full morality and the full compassion. So they think they are, but they don't know that they're not yet. This is the thing. But once they as well come to realize this very quickly, it could even happen today, which I hope will have more like brothers and sisters coming in. But I've anticipated this for the last, ever since we began. I had anticipated that they would have noticed, identified instantly that GPMS was the reason they're here, the reason they're awakened, and is what needs to be done to stop all of this suffering and harm worldwide. And also, with that, they should have realized that they have the power to do it. They're not going through their inner work and their processes of purification for a selfish reason, just so that they would ascend by themselves. It's not about the individual, it's about the whole. And this is where the Christ compassion comes in. There is no fear of us being here, and we know what we got to do, and it's to bring all together. And one of the first things Father told I in this incarnation was when he told me what had to be done, and with GPMS, what we're doing now. I said, Father, I said, that's quite a task for one, to begin to do that. He said, whoa, Rick, no. First thing, you're not alone. There are many that are part of the ground crew here to work with you, to work with us all together, because that's how it has to be. But these ones just don't know their divine identity enough yet to take up their positions and their roles here in these meetings with TPMS to take everyone, the entire planet, home free in an instant. And we get back to what Sister Lodi said. We're close to this virality point, and what does it take? And for I have seen our Philippines brothers and sisters consistent, nonstop since they come in, and they are holding, if you will, that the leading edge of what we're doing, and they're very important, and they know that. And one of the reasons is because of, well, two of the reasons, because of their belief in God, but also they have gone through all of the dark trials and errors that the West is going through now. So in actuality, the Western world, North America and Europe, are behind the Philippines. And this is the thing. See, this is one of the problems, because you have the majority of the people worldwide that are supposed to be more educated and perhaps advanced, because they would say they're not impoverished, that compared to Philippines, they would degrade Philippines and say they're a impoverished, underdeveloped, perhaps, country. But at the same time, they actually do not recognize that they are underdeveloped, at not sharing, caring, and they don't have all of the experience yet. Or I should say now, they are getting the experience. Can you imagine what worldwide, let's just look at the US, for example, any American citizen, whether they supported this war or not, it doesn't make a difference. When they go to another country, if they say they're American, it's going to be not a good reception by any of them. So the Americans also need to realize that this has to stop, the American people. And and when you look at, see, the American people already have the majority vote right today for GPMS. There're just not enough of them doing it. See, when Trump was elected in 2024, he got in with approximately 32% of the eligible votes. Right now, so 32% of the voters voted him in. So that's not 51%, and it's certainly not at least about 60% of the US, the American people right now that do not support war. So the point I'm making with over 60%, I'd say it's probably 85%, you already have double the people that is supporting that supported that old system. They've now been through the experience. They've seen what it cost them, the great shame by being a country involved in killing women and children. Their military personnel are beginning to step back, leave jobs because their conscience can't do this. This is putting the great shame upon the American people as well. So the point that I'm making, yes, at any moment, GPMS can go viral in the US. And really, that is the end game because when we started this ascension, the last domino to fall was the US. And I know at least some of you remember me saying that for years. And even before we started GPMS, in some of my posts, I had put it, you know, the US is the last domino to fall. Now, I've not been keeping up on, the war and things and how things are going, but what has been coming into my field a bit is that I'm hearing one say that the US has lost this war in Israel and that it's very severe. So when you look at that, that means the US has crumbled. And what this means, the only other alternative for humanity is GPMS. It's not another political system with a go back structure. The people are wiser now. They know none of that works. So the only other solution and option, whether they believe in God or not, is GPMS. So as we know, we have we put on the website as much content as we could so that anyone that was interested, wondering about the mechanics and the dynamics of it, they can go on there and we've got it detailed as much as we can, but it's all laid out. It's simple. And we've just updated the mechanics page number 1 and number 2. I think we did that early in the week here so that people can see what we're speaking about. It's all put together. It's an all-inclusive system. It's already all mapped out. It's ready to be applied. The only thing that's missing is the majority support from the people. So with our overall ascension, um, just a couple quick things. We had another test run, but I think that might have been last Sunday night, with when I was speaking about rapture feelings and sensations. We did have another shift in the timeline, accompanied by a test of the rapture. And I think I did a Telegram open mic discussion, and I think I spoke about it, some of it in there as well. So whatever occurs, it's simple. Keep your faith in God and in yourself and your connection to God and do everything virtuous, and we keep going forward. There's variable things with this that I can't tell you the time. I can't tell you how many's going forward. And, I don't, this is truth. And I do use that only Father himself knows that hour. And truly it is, because God is very real. And this is why everyone has been awakening. It's why your natural disasters, for the most part, has increased to awaken ones. It's why everything is happening with your society, the suffering, the intense suffering, intense pressure, because people have to make a choice. And Divine-gpms.world is Father's plan and Father's will for the new world. There is nothing else. There's only Divine-gpms.world, and the amount of time that it takes for the majority just to wake up just enough that they put their consents and their children's consents on there as soon as possible. And it's all done. Everyone is happy. No more war. We're in full peace, freedom, abundance, health, happiness, joy, all of those good things. You don't have what you got here in this controlled world. The new world is controlled by all of the people working equally together in harmony and using all of the tools on earth to put everyone in a place of freedom, abundance, and joy and harmony. See, with money, people, this is the problem, that people thinks that governments are the ones that make money, that create the money. But with this, no, the money would not be created if you did not exist. It's created because you exist. So the creation of money has to be taken back into the hands of the people, and it has to be created in good, comfortable ways, which is to create it unlimitedly, to create all of the good things. So humanity has the power of that. When they mention their system with debt and all of this, no one ever has to pay any debt. That is the most foolish things that anyone could say, but they do say it to try to substantiate the beast system. All right, I'll stop. Thank you. I had a lot to say. I was late coming in.
Hi, Serhi. So you are in Ontario, and we can see exactly what Rick's told about what is happening in what is called North America, especially in Canada and the United States, as everything is scrambling, all the market seems to go down. But the people are saying, do you know, Beatrice, I cannot truly believe everything that it is told via the video over the internet, especially on the YouTube and everything, because many video can be generated by artificial intelligence, then this does not represent the truth. And so we need the real people that we know, then they can tell us exactly what is happening there. So for example, I can tell you what is happening here in Alberta, but you may tell us what is happening in Ontario. And Ontario and also British Columbia are the two most important points that are on the collapse right now, especially on the real estate and jobs. Because especially Ontario is all the time high. Oh, come here because you have jobs. Then any how can I say, square feet of the house there, or so the people gave the value, extremely high value. And it's not only because of the concentration of jobs in area, and also because of the corruption and everything, money laundering and everything that happened. So what is happening with the real estates and in general with the market, jobs and everything? Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I am like just a simple regular truck driver, cannot say much about real estate, but I can say whatever I can see. through me, through my friends. It's like houses that cost us like a five, 600,000. It's already minus 200,000 down. So it's mean if you pay into the bank like a mortgage, approximately $3,000 per month, and you have to pay it because you signed the contract, but you cannot sell your house, and you can make this money back and pay it back to the bank. It's possibly you are just trapped. You have to pay, but your job is like not enough money to make it, to earn it, to pay it, and you cannot sell your house because it's cheaper than it was to be before. So it's like hard to you to just make any moves. You need to pay it, but you cannot sell it. It's like most people see it, and just whoever still can pay it, they pay it. Whoever cannot, they sell it wherever they can make it back and just clear the debt with the banks. It's very bad for the people, but people have no choice, so they have been pressured. And on the other side, it's like I'm driving from Ontario to New Jersey to Pennsylvania to New York State, and I see like what's going on in there. There is also like very hard situation because the prices for the diesel go up, and it's diesel grow up like maybe 40% recently. So it's mean all the grocery and services will grow up 30-40% in the future. It's already started, but in future it's going to be more. And it's like people also like don't know what to do, how to survive, and they are looking for the government. And just like the brother Rick spoke before, government starts the war with the Iran. Trump started like Iran surrendered immediately after a week or two. He said, I don't know what to do. It's Israel problem. And like I saw the news yesterday, the US signed the contract with Iran to buy their oil for $14 billion. So even the people who support Trump in this war, they're like so proud to be like, I don't know, war supporters. They're gonna say now, hey, what's going on? You guys signing contract to buy their oil? Is this like 180 degrees turnaround? So they're not support him anymore, and they will see like the real truth. It's like this war is nonsense, and it's like, and they will see the struggle on the economical side because it's hard to them to live. And what I can say against also, it's like people who still believe like in this make America great agenda, they will be so disappointed because it's like nothing what they've been promised to them, nothing is like, I don't know, given the go ahead future. So everything is like a scam. They promise them like a mad bets, not realized. They promise them like, I don't know, Jisara Nisara, whatever changes in money things, not realized. It's all like a scam. It's how long you gonna wait? It's his second term. It's nothing been done. It's like, and you have been pressured by economically. So you need to believe to divine plan, divine-gpms.world. Even if you don't know about, you will know in the future because energies from the sun coming and just you awaken and sure, your soul will show you the way. You will see this way, you see these options, and it's like it's all happening. But yeah, we have to have a patience, wait a little bit more, and it's going to be done sooner or later. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know, hard to see how it's like taking for them too long to get it. I don't know, most of us get it just instantly. As soon as you see this divine plan, you're already in. You already supported, you already like, I don't know, trying to give it to everyone around. But what is taking them for so long, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. All right, thank you.
But do you know something, Sergey? So, for example, from the United States all the time, the freedom movement, what it is called freedom, because the freedom is something else, but what they call as freedom, we have to get rid of the immigrants from this country. We have to get rid of them. And also in Canada, because of the influence of the white hats with Sarge on top there, we have to get rid of the immigrants. But Canada has 44% of the population, first generation immigrant and the second generation immigrant. So in Canada, that it is the second large area in the world. We are 40 million almost half of us, we are immigrant or immigrant related. So get rid of the people. So the existence of the people is the problem. This is the problem. This is how the problem is fixed. Imagine in such area, in such beautiful and rich Canada, we have the problem are the people because they exist. This is what Trump and White Hat is sending as waves. And this is what right now also the politicians are keeping because they have to keep the Trump agenda and everything that is happening. And also so-called freedom movement that they are not able to understand that our rights are divine and are coming from the divinity and not from what they think as government and institution and politician. Trump is only a politician, nothing else. So when they will start to realize that, so it is about the population that has to stop, exactly as Rick said, the war, because if we do not stop the war will kill the humanity. So it's not about the existence of the people that are the problem because we exist, because the planet is rich and it is so beautiful. The problem is how some of us are thinking and their ascension and their bad intent. So the ill intent is already a crime with universal laws. So I would like to share, to spread this message everywhere. I started also the so-called Facebook group, discrimination, racism, and everything. The people are not able to see that we are discriminate each other when we are not paid equal. The people cannot see that we are discriminate when our rights and freedom are not recognized. How our rights and freedom were recognized after 2020 when we have this injection in place and everything that is happening, and basically nobody try the freedom movement. It's not speaking the truth that we have rights and freedom from the divine, and the accumulation of the wealth on only few hands has to start to shift from the few to everyone. And this is done by the self-governance, that it's kept, the true self-governance, it's kept by the right, the true right of self-determination, that it is kept by universal laws. So basically we have artificial law. So we have a problem of the law, we have a problem of the monetary system. But Trump politician today and even the freedom movement, they try to invoke that the problem it is that the people exist, or the people moved from the land where it is a war developed from another land just to survive. This is the problem? No, this is not the problem. This is just a consequence how the people are thinking, and this is a consequence because they are not starting the true action that it is the consent of GPMS. So this is the implementation of the correct law that is giving us peace and abundance and everything. And we do not need to get rid of the people, because not the people are the problem. The problem is how some of us are thinking, and eliminate this kind of thinking, we have everything that we need.
Yeah, all of this situation, it's like pushing people to be responsible for their own life. If they don't step up, if they don't, I don't know, show they want to changes, nothing is going to happen, and they need to. Even if they, like I said, don't know about divine plan, they need to show their, like, I don't know, responsibility. We don't want to live like this. We need the changes, and it's sure the way will show it to them as they start, like, I don't know, show not like a consent with the regular situation, with the regular governments. The situation will change it for them, and they will see the divine plan. It's all about them to just start to moving to the self-respect and just do something what is makes sense for them and for everybody. Yeah. Hopefully it's gonna be done. Like Brother Rick said, soon, recently, big wave for the awakening. came over a recent couple days ago, so probably will start to react. Yeah. Okay.
And especially Alberta, that has also the temperature necessary to bring up all the hemp industry. I'm saying still the industry for the people to understand what it's about. It's about the hemp in general. Minimum 2,500 items can be made from hemp. All the plastic that we have today can be replaced by hemp. Everything. We do not need in Alberta to concentrate on oil and gas. We do not need that. We need in Alberta to start to concentrate on hemp. Then from there, we come with buildings and everything. The solution is not to remove people because they exist. People that they are coming from places as war as Iran or something like. I'm not saying for them to come, all of them from there. It's not about to transfer all the Iran people here. It's not about that. But those that they are already here, it's not about the problem is their existence. The problem it is that we do not develop what we need and we are not doing what we have to do. We are keeping still up companies as Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, I don't know, insect farming, all this kind of stuff that are starting, even these insects farming are starting for grant. So it seems that the government has money to start businesses that are killing the people, but has no money to start the correct hemp industry or minimum to allow the hemp industry to develop because of the law. So when we are looking why we have a homeless problem, we have a homeless problem because of the law. We have land, we have everything needed. The housing, organic housing can be done via hemp. The hemp can grow twice per year here in Alberta. Only Alberta can satisfy all the hemp necessity in all Canada, but this is not starting. Why? It is because of the law. So we do not need to work for the private corporation that replace the people with the artificial intelligence. We need to use the artificial intelligence for ourselves, then basically to come with uh, other kind of hours, like probably 10 in the future when all this artificial intelligence is working for the people as working time with only 10 hours. So the people needs to start to shift towards from the 9 to 5 working from big private corporation and start to understand that we can use the artificial intelligence for the humanity, then to make the shift toward GPMS and start to implement also the GPMS idea everywhere.
Yeah,
Hi,
and
Vicky, we have, yes, Serhi.
yeah, and I would like to add one more thing about governments. You see, like you said, they're not investing in the farming, the foods or other stuff. They're investing in a war. And for example, Trump family, his son invested in the companies who build the drones and AI. It says all about it. How his agenda, how his family invest to this business, but not the like a all good for the people, not growing the food or I don't know health. They just economically interesting to build drones and AI. It's like who are we supporting? It's not good for anybody. It's like people need to wake up. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so this businessman, as all the people believe that we need a famous businessman, and Trump succeeded so beautiful in all the business, and basically he can be the president because he succeeded on the business. Okay. Jerry, hello, you are with us today. Thank you so much for coming back.
You're
What
welcome.
is new in the United States, because we started to speak about all the situation that is happening with the ascension, and we hope that the people may realize then we can start to govern ourselves and to put our time and knowledge and everything or develop other you know, based on the true correct information, to start to develop a project for the humanity in another way, and basically start the self-governance, the self-determination, and start to see that via GPMS we gather the consents to implement the correct law, and from there everything start to happen on the correct way for the humanity. So what it is in your area and what you may tell us today. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry I'm joining a little late here, but yeah, we're just trying to hold steady. I'm trying to just get as much action about Divine-gpms.world on my Facebook page as possible via music, using the harmonic frequencies to help rise and everybody else raise their vibrations to the current state of affairs. Because it is ugly out there right now. Lots of people are feeling the density and the pressure of the times, which we know are not the end of times. It's the beginning of the new times, as Brother Rick and Brother Beatrice here acknowledge so beautifully and relay so nicely. So I'm just trying to get the word out to everybody that I know as quickly as possible. Because it's a no-brainer if you go to the Divine-gpms.world website, read the information, and it's a no-brainer compared to the BS that we are dealing with in all of our leaders right now. So hopefully a smooth transition happens here quickly. Thank you, Miss Beatrice.
So Everson from Brazil, some words, please.
Oh, yes, I was.
That's all I got for now. I just want to listen. Yeah.
Yes, I was amazed about the things that Lori talked about Philippines, because it's the same kind of process, social process that are going on there and are going here too. The people are seeing governments don't acting in interest of the population, and it's not for now, it's for a long time that it's happening. Governments are not trying to help problems, to resolve problems. They are trying always to create a problem to sell the solution. And it is this thing, amazed. I am amazed how the process are similar in everywhere, in every country, because when happened the things that happen in USA, similar things happen in Brazil, not equal but similar, and I cannot imagine that it's happening everywhere. But it's amazing that something is going on, and even people don't realize it in days, but everyone are seeing that something's changing. Yes, thank you.
Agnes in Germany.
No. What I can add is that I'm very grateful that we are, since I don't really know how long it is already, but every Sunday here and talking and hearing about Divine GPMS. And what I observed here is that we don't really have places here in Germany where we can come together just to talk, not demonstrate, just to talk, be together. They are really demonstration or concerts, but I mean just to talk about something. So I see our meetings as such something wonderful that we're doing this, and it would be great if it could be grow. That people ask and talk about this, and also, for example, this new page from this week about Divine-gpms mechanics, how it will be implemented. It's new, it's wonderful, very short explained how it works. So this places that the people will come more together and focus more to the new and not the old one. And I see here a lot of place for living. I see a lot of a place to walk, to live. There's enough of everything here. Like Sister Beatrice said, it's the law. So we have the abundance is already here, but the people have to see it and to make the choice. And so what I've got is just that the people have to come more together. So I had a very nice talk with a lady here, and so on the street, and it felt like, so when you start to speak with someone which you don't really know, then you feel they also see the changes, and they will talk, they will come together with other people. So that's what I feel when you start to talk with them. But there's not enough places where you can come together and to grow these energies. So when the people come together and talk about this, something happened, and it was just very nice meeting yesterday. And so that's what I do, is just spread this good vibes, good energy, and and what can I say? So I'm very, very grateful to be here every Sunday and have the possibility to be with all of you. And I hope more people are looking and reading. And thank you very much. That's what I can add. Thank you.
Thank you so much to be here, and it is so beautiful, your wall that you have there with green, yellow, white. It's so beautiful. Yes, Rick?
Oh, thank you. Just a quick thing. I didn't get the post out, but with the ascension, many more are having the root chakras activated, and this began about a week ago. And this is significant because when the root chakra becomes activated, ones that don't know, you'll feel sexual energy. It'll feel mostly like that, and it will come out of nowhere. But what this is your root chakra, your energetic chakra, which is being activated because it's connected to your Merkaba, your light body. And this energy it allows you to increase your vibration, but also exist in the higher realms where we're going in the 5D earth or what have you. But importantly, with any that's feeling a sexual energy that comes out of nowhere, this is your root chakra being activated. And the instructions is when you feel that energy, it's not for sexual purposes. You have to have the discipline when you feel it to take your consciousness and push or pull it right up your core, right out through the top of your head. So this is what you want to do with this energy. You want it to come up. You want to begin to feel your heart with it, your other chakras, your throat even, your consciousness. So you want to bring this energy upward. And with divine energy, Kundalini, Merkaba energy such as this, it's sacred. And I need to make this point. Anyone that if you're in a relationship, that if both partners are feeling it, you need to be committed to the one partner. You cannot have this sacred energy distorted by one having other partners or even thinking. It depends upon the individuals. If one is still attracted to someone else, see, that takes them away and it diminishes the sacred energy, and you cannot bring these together with the twin flames and their important purposes. So root energy is being activated. So just to let ones know if they're feeling unusual sensitivity in your whole genital, but your hip areas, the bottom of your womb, that whole area, it depends upon the individual. So it can be just isolated to the um, genital sexual area, or it can be right out into the hips and what have you, as I said. It depends upon the individual. But if you feel that sensation, this is the guidance what to do with it. And it is important to do this. It is important when you feel this energy, don't go into making love. Because if you go into making love, then the energy is just exhausted on that, and it doesn't fulfill its purpose at advancing you further forward. If you do go into love, if it's with an equal partner that also understands the energy and what occurs with the sacred energy, then that is fine, because then both of you can work it up together and it becomes more powerful, and it also creates the multi-dimensional experiences, the great love that you've never felt before, the peace, the heavenly sensations with it, and much, much more. But also, what we need to look at on in this current old beast system, what we need to look at is that there is a responsibility for reparation and compensation after someone attacks a country. They are responsible for compensating to rebuild that country. A lot of this is provisioned in existing international law. And as an example, with Germany from the Second World War, to my knowledge, it's still paying the world because of the war. And but the important point with this is that it's not Germany, it's the taxpayers herself that keeps paying this. But it's important for ones to understand that this mass destruction of Iran, that the US and Israel are going to have to foot the bill with this if the old system remains intact. Now, not only that, we are talking not just about, let's say, Iran, we are talking about the effects of the world. It has affected the entire world. So the cost of that is unprecedented, it's immense. So who is responsible for doing it? Well, the ones that attacked Iran. So this is a heavy, heavy debt. It's an unprecedented debt. Now, what I need to say on top of this, which has been recorded into the public domain and documented, the universal nation of GPMS recognizes the limit or the lower value of any individual on Earth at $500 billion and more, but that is the least. So when you look at the amount of deaths that have been suffered in Iran, you've got a huge bill that no country with the existing system can pay. So also ones need to know the huge trap that the US has themselves in. The only way they can pay it is do more of their quantitative easing and creating money out of thin air. But again, it becomes so blatant when they do that. How can they create all of this money out of thin air while their entire country is suffering? So you can see there is no way for them to get out of it, whatever way you look at it, financial, morally, or what have you. So this is very serious, and it's why I say, and I feel by April, we'll probably have the GPMS.world. I keep saying this, but at any point, and like Sister Lodi says, and like all of us we know, it's going to go viral. So look at this realization. Already, the cost for the war on the U.S. in this system, they've lost, to my knowledge, the U.S. has lost all of its Asian military base. They've been destroyed, trillions and trillions of dollars that it costs them. This cost goes back on the American people as well. So it's not only the cost of building Iran and also Palestine from Israel. The people's got to pay for this if the old system stays intact. And if the old system stays intact and the people begins to make payments, then guess what? Higher taxes. So they're being suppressed and starved, controlled even more. So the economics of this and also the financial side of it, it cannot be. It cannot work. The only other choice is GPMS.world. So we established and documented public with Sister Nya's case, but also at the same time with every child, any harm done to them, the minimum price tag would be 500 billion per child and mom. And we put this out there from the universal nation of GPMS because we are the most powerful voice on earth. And the reason we are, as we brought up last week, the UN itself, it only has about a couple hundred, if you will, that are ratified speakers and representatives for it. We have over 400,000. So we have many multiples more. And we are the strongest voice because what we have is our lawful system. So we're a universal nation. So what constitutes this is our financial system that can go within 24 hours worldwide upon having the majority agreement. We have the set of laws to do no harm, which is simple. We uphold all of the unalienable rights. No country worldwide does this today. We have our Constitution. We have our Charter. So we have everything. This is just part of the reason why we are the most powerful nation on earth at this time. And again, it's why we put out 2 weeks ago, or March 3rd, perhaps longer than that, we put out the worldwide order for all governments to cease military actions, to begin to set up the procedures for melting down all of their military equipment, recycling it, and to give a GPMS to their people. So we informed all 193 UN governments worldwide. The other colonies and territories, I think, might be 23. I just forget the number. So we have informed all of them. At the same time, we have informed the heads of the major faiths worldwide with the same information, and the international media we have selected. I don't know how many it was because we just do our work quick and put these emails in and get them sent out to these ones. So they have all been notified of it worldwide. So we were full coverage and extensive so that not only the governments got it, the major faith leaders got it, and the international mainstream media all got this at the same time. And I didn't, and let's say anticipate any replies to it, but we needed to do this to identify the problem, to identify who all it is, even though we already know, but now we've got it on record because we gave them the instant peaceful solution to stop immediately. And when we did that, where they had the solution, any casualties or any other harm that came afterwards and any other destruction, they were breaking not only the law, but they were breaking this agreement. This was the worldwide peace agreement. You can look at it as well because it had everything in there, because GPMS has everything in there. There is no reason for any country to fight because GPMS takes away every reason. Everyone is in abundance and working together rather than separated. So these are the same old ploys of the darkness, if you will, to separate people by religions, by countries, and also by propaganda that they put on and that they fabricate on the social medias and what have you. So it's in the censoring, these are the old things, how they would control public sentiment. But as we're seeing, no longer is that working, that the protests, I believe, I don't know if anyone can say I was busy. I didn't check this week in America, but did the protests increase? I know they were planning protests all over the U.S. To stop the war, but I didn't check any information on that. Perhaps you, Sister Beatrice, would have some.
Yeah, there will be a couple of protests also in Canada. This is coming against the political structure as the liberal, especially. But basically, the people started to see the corruption everywhere. So I don't think the conservative will have so many chances to resist in the future because the people started to wake up and to see that they are the value and self-governance exists from all the time. So we do not need politicians to decide for us. But anyway, the good politicians that are there because they believe on a correct change, if they are good enough, they should align with GPMS and come and speak about GPMS, not keeping the pyramid system up. There are protests also in Romania, because the people have no money. They work for the corporation and they are not paid for 3 months or something like. So right now it is about Târgu Jiu, Gorj, so this kind of area in Romania. The people are going on the street and they are taking the street simple, peaceful, but they do not give up anymore. So they want a change. Right now, what I would suggest to the Romania people that we have on GPMS to start to become active, just to print GPMS on paper if you have only the laptop and a printer, So basically cut a piece of paper like A4 type in 20 and write only GPMS, peace, abundance and everything, and cut after that and share if you have no money for the business card. So just share GPMS, it is the time. And from the United States has around more than probably 25% also first immigration and second immigration generation. So they in Canada 44%. So the people needs to start to understand that Trump and even some freedom movement and politician and everything, they are doing nothing else than as the darkness it's doing. So they are darkness at this time because they put to fight us each other, do not have peace and do not have time to see what they are doing. So the people needs to start to see what they are doing. Then we have to get rid of all the political structure, then start to unite by ourselves. So I don't think that this situation with Trump illusion, as I said in a couple of videos, will last for a long time from now, especially in Canada, United States, because Trump is not able to give, and the White Hat was not able, as he's saying, to provide what the people need. So the housing, food, correct medication, and everything are essential. And even that they will start today on the pyramid structure, they are not able to do everything that something to compare with GPMS. So the people anyway will arrive to the cosmic law, to the universal law to see them. And the protest, if they are coming against Trump and everything, the people started to understand, and I see also some posts over the internet in the last time. The people needs to stop the war. If not, the war will kill the humanity. So right now it is considered essential to stop the war. So it's coming like food, housing, and good medicine. Stopping the war is becoming essential. We are essential. So the people are the value. Then even that they will be on the protest, they are just welcome, but to see more than the protest, to start to see GPMS. So everything that we have a couple of thousand in the United States, like almost 5,000. In Canada, we have already 1,400. For sure, there are also children there, but it is already a number about 6,000, probably 4,000 or 4,500, they are adults. I would say if only 10% from them start to be active and just going to the protest and start to speak about GPMS, not necessarily with the leaders, but also with the people that they gathered there. Then from there, we can come with GPMS as soon as possible and everything ends. Because the way to end the war, it's not to provoke chaos, to go on the street and to move through the protest, but it is to align with the implementation of universal laws. Then the universal laws means do no harm, and the war is harm. Then the peace is coming. It's just simple like that and nothing more. So empower, Trump has no power, such as White Hats and other from the White House there that are keeping the war and everything up, have no power when so many people rise up. And I said all the time, the bill will be paid. This bill that are created right now. It's not only the compensation, as Rick is saying, that it is a moral duty, and also the United States has to pay to rebuild Iran or something. So it's not only that, but it's basically when the people start to realize that we had GPMS all the time, but GPMS was not shared because the White Hats wanted still to implement their version of the pyramid scheme with the artificial laws, and they did nothing for 1 year and 5 months. So there will be, I'm not saying a judgment, but will be a reaction. And the reaction will be not on the favor of the white hats. It does not matter what they are doing inside of the system at this time. So this will come anyway. And because of my understanding, I do not put my energy to show what white hat is doing or what is not doing. I put my energy and I invest my energy to show GPMS all the time what GPMS can do, because nothing compared with GPMS. So keeping the focus on GPMS. So in the last years, I said many things about the hats because the people believed too much on the white hats. They were not able to see what I started to see. And I said, okay, if I was gifted by God and I was able to see some things, and even people inside of the white hats, they are not able to see and they continue to believe on their general and everything, this will be by time seen anyway. This will cause just suffering more, and we'll continue to live on the suffering in the next coming years. But at the same time, the people one time they will start to see that the suffering was able to be stopped, but was not stopped even white hats received the correct information about GPMS, but eliminated all the time the information of GPMS. So they wanted to impose themselves as the hero, but they are not the hero on the good direction at this time. They cannot lead the humanity. This is already evident. So this is why we have to send the people the truth about the benefits of GPMS, the benefits of divine law, cosmic law, do no harm, and what we can do, enforce, how can I say, put the accent on the creativity of the people, those they are already on the fifth dimension and above, on everything that they can do, and explain to the people, those that they started to see solution, they started to see where their solution cannot move forward and how they can more align with GPMS. Yes, Rick.
Yeah, thank you, sister. What I wish to say is I didn't even think the White Hats narrative existed anymore. But nevertheless, having said that, after everything that's transpired, they cannot substantiate that narrative. But also, some of my last research months ago, and I have mentioned it on here, when we looked at some of the white hat chat groups or what have you, 86% of the members in these groups were not even human. They were just bots and what have you, and they made numbers up of people that are not even there. So this is one of the another reason why I said take the focus away from the white hats, because there's only a couple, let's say, leaders and a few that are there. The percentage is very small. The white hats narrative was something that was made up for psychological warfare to support the beast system, as you're seeing. So any white hat thing, it cannot substantiate innocent women and children being targeted and killed. That it just defies everything with it. So it's all gone. It cannot exist anymore. And this is the same as the beast system and with Trump and Israel. No, they cannot justify what they've done. I mean, people are not this stupid, right? So it's yeah, and this is what we're witnessing because it's the meltdown of the US and also Israel, and also the what you call the bad Jews, if you will. And this is also connected to Rome as well, and to the UK, you know. So many as a result of this, many are waking up more as well. But it is a very it is such a shame, and it is from the heart not good to see that innocent children and women have to die to wake up humanity. People are seeing that it's morally wrong. More and more are doing it. And, I checked today because I had to, and I'm writing something else up. But some of the polls, what was coming up in the US with support for Trump, like was 26%, maybe 30%, or what have you. But, when I look at that, I know it's not true because how could it be? So you know that the numbers are also fudged with it. I mean, the majority of the people worldwide are not bad people. They don't want innocent children and women killed. That is absurd. So, having said this, I do know they're fudging the numbers to propagate and support their war, what they're doing again. And when you look at it again, the targets is the civilians, themselves, and the innocent women and children are the ones you don't. My last looking at the numbers of the amount of military to the amount of civilians, it was 95, no, 98%. I think the last one we did, 98% of the casualties approximately that we could calculate were civilian. 2% was military on any side. So this also shows you, no, it's civilians that's being targeted. It's women and children. And when you take Palestine with about 70,000 being killed, what they actually killed was mostly women and children. So what they're attempting to do is to wipe out a whole people, a whole race. That's why the UN and others around the world say it's a genocide. It's one of the most serious war crimes ever. And with Israel, when it did that to Palestine, it got most of its or a lot of its weaponry from the US. They supplied them with the weapons. So, it again, there is nothing for any Q movement or any white hats to justify what they are other than dark narratives. How could any moral good person, good soul, be part of a white hat or a Q initiative that is killing innocent women and children? They can't justify it, so it's not there. And this is the point I'm making. Most of it was fabricated to make people think there were these huge groups of white hats. But in reality, no, they weren't there. What they had constructed was narratives with bots and AIs in controlling the channels, making it look like people were there. But in reality, no. One of them groups, 15% of, I don't know what it was, over 100,000, 15% were only humans. The rest were all bots, AIs, and whatever you have in there. So, again, and that is a serious crime again in itself. I went earlier today uh, to search for a guy. He's speaking very good, and I want to speak with him. He's a new guy that popped up. And so I go to look for him on Facebook. No, can't find him. So then for the first time ever, I used the Meta AI to see if the Meta AI could help me find him. And what was interesting with the Meta AI's response, no, I cannot find any such person, but because he is labeled a conspiracy theorist, and I think something else the AI said, you probably won't find his profile because, you know, he'd be restricted. But I mean, here is the full truth. But I got the message, and I'm going to the AI's reply. I'm going to copy it because it's Facebook's AI, but it's telling the truth. Yeah, that he's labeled a conspiracy theorist and more, so they censored him. But he's not. He's telling the truth, right? And he had very good facts, you know, and that's what he's using is facts that are out there in the world. So it's yeah, it's so it's so revealing. But anyways, I wanted to share that too because this is see, Sister Beaters, with the AI. This is what we're saying where we're programming the AI. The AI can't lie because it will go against its program. So it tells you, yes, they're censoring him. That's why you can't find them. But here, I'll give you his website and his other channels and try there. But I'm unable to help you, but I can give you this. So yeah, I did, and I'm attempting to connect with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
It
Thank
would
you.
be nice to see when the artificial intelligence will recognize that they are used by the private corporation and basically making money only for the owners of the private corporation when all the people pass away because they believe that they have no jobs. So anyway, the question is this God event that probably may come by the summertime, or we may expect to come by the summertime. It is about that 2 billion of soulless people vanish, or they will be still found on the system because they are placed on so many key positions inside of the pyramid system. So basically, if God event is able to clean up, to make the cleanup, then this will come on after all the collapse that I started to see on 2026. This will have a huge impact on everything that will happen on Earth. So what it is about, so God event is probably, we know that we do not know exactly, but if it may be hope or like prediction or a belief that Father God may be by the summer of 2026, and what really will happen with the 2 billion of soulless people. I don't know, I think Rick is changing the computer. Yes, sir, he.
Yeah, sorry. I think before that it happened in summer, the darkness have one more card to play. It's probably like a alien disclosure. Only after that, like a big good changes for the humanity can happen. And with that alien disclosure, we already like understand or understand it's like alien exist. They are like it cannot be like universe like and have only humans and nobody else exist. Surely somewhere on other planets or other universes, it's like some other life, creation of the God. Yeah, the many are around the planet and it's gonna be disclosed, but our governments not gonna show as usually all the truth, probably some small percentage, nothing else. And probably after that we're gonna like step into the new world and just as soon as all of this be played out, probably we'll have a better future. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Rick, because you were coming back
Yeah, I
about
got distracted. What was your question? I couldn't hear anything.
yeah,
You might hear them. The dogs
um,
were
so it is
startled
about
there.
yeah, it is about the God event. For example, if there might be a belief that the God event might be this summer 2026, and what will happen with the 2 billion of soulless people, because the soulless people exist on all the pyramid system. They are also on the key position inside of the pyramid system, and this will have a huge influence if they vanish or not, or what really will happen with the 2 billion soulless people when the God event is coming.
Well, I'm not given the exact way it occurs. As I said, I've given what is possible. And so there are several, well, more than one scenario that is possible, as I said. Um, but to just keep it, to put it all together, these 2 billion cannot exist in this new world we're going, because everything resides on frequency. So once we have Earth here in this higher frequency, these ones are unable to operate. If they're clones, if they're dark ones, it doesn't matter because of the intent. And also, if they're clones, they don't have within their DNA the frequency to emit, to be able to sustain their self in the higher reality. But you also need to know is that robotics and cloning has been on Earth for many decades. And what this means with governments and government leaders, that if you see a Trump, there's probably 4 or 5 Trumps that they put in different places, and or robotics, even, if you will. So ones need to know that a lot of these things that you're seeing, that's all in these places of power, that yeah, they're, most of them are not human souls at all. I mean, just look at any politician. How can any politician that is a soul support what is occurring right now? So, if there was souls in the politicians and what have you, you would not see this, and you would see more accepting the peaceful solution of divine GPMS immediately. I mean, it doesn't take much common sense or knowledge to know what GPMS is and what a worldwide vote does. I mean, you could give this to a little child, perhaps 6 years old, and they could understand it. So I'm making this point because there is no justification by any competent politician to not be also taking this, or any government. So, yes, there's vast numbers. They're not souls, but what occurs with them, it's not exactly clear. It's possible they'll annihilate themselves as well. They could just vanish, but it doesn't matter how they go. What matters is that they're not in this new world, and we don't need to put our focus towards that. See, this is one of the biggest tricks. What the darkness uses is to get ones into aggression and to be projecting, killing, and harming ones. The moment that an individual does that, they immediately disempower themselves because it's not in alignment with divinity. So this is another reason why they created this war at this time, to put great fear on the planet in attempts to stop and prevent the ascension, because they knew the ascension was occurring. And with their infamous medical program in 2021 or 20, that was also another effect, to inject ones with a DNA disruptor, if you will. So, and this is out in the public. It was a military experiment. So the people know what that was. It was not real medicine. It was an experiment that they were doing and conducting on everyone. But as I say, it was an attempted mass genocide. And as I said on the last meeting, I get micro examples all the time. The last meeting, what I shared, second-hand information or third-hand, whatever it is, this one small village in Germany, most all of them have died or are dying. And nothing is in the newspaper there about it. Nothing is on the news about it. But that's only one micro example of around the world. Many are dying, and you know the cause of it. So these things cannot be covered up. There is justice coming. It's been too widespread and too severe. But the only thing what's occurring is the people yet are not choosing the solution to end it so that we can save as many of humanity as we can. We're breaking down the walls. Yes, we're doing that. But still, with every day that ones hesitate and don't uh, join and consent, it's another day that, well, we need the ones in mass. It's another day that many children go missing, many children are killed, women are killed worldwide, and even men. So it's not only the war, it's the hunger. So you have almost 1 billion, but it's over that now, that goes to bed every night hungry. We had in the past over or around 20,000 children around the world dying each day of hunger. But those statistics is perhaps about a year old. So I would say that has jumped now to perhaps 30,000 because of the worldwide inflation. So, you know, this is sick. It's insane. But the thing is the people are the ones to change it. And the quickest and instantaneous and best way to do it is Divine-gpms. But what they're doing is protesting and fighting against governments that have no intentions of changing it. Because again, if these governments did have good intentions, they'd be getting everyone in their country to ratify GPMS now. And they're not doing it. So, you know, we're once again revealing and exposing even more of the darkness because, but also the people. See, if the people don't choose GPMS, which is the solution, it means they are part of the problem as well. And the longer that they hesitate, when they're given GPMS, the longer they hesitate, they are partially responsible for all of the worldwide deaths. And this is the truth. Because GPMS is the full instantaneous solution that puts everyone in a place of comfort, peace, abundance, joy, and freedom. So what even a fool would choose what GPMS is? Because there's nothing like it, and there never will be. So why would the people choose to continue to suffer and see harm when they got the choice right now to end it forever? And this is where it gets ridiculous. And, you know, as I said, and one say, yes, levels of consciousness, but this defies consciousness altogether. And it does show you that there's a lot more at play. A lot of it was the psychological warfare at programming them. Everyone glued to their media, if they're not careful, they can come under the brainwashing. And the brainwashing is that severe that they can't see anything. It narrows their tunnel vision that they'll, you know, that's in the past. We're breaking it down. But again, that's the only explanation for it because any normal soul in their heart, you know, would take this. So what is holding them back? It's more than just what I said, of course, but the biggest thing is the people. You got leaders out there of the people that are fighting and protesting against governments when all of the governments is the problem. So why aren't you give GPMS to your people once we got the majority vote? Governments are outnumbered. You don't even have to put a finger to getting rid of them. They are just replaced organically because the majority of the people support the new system and they bring it in because the people are the lawful owners and shareholders of all the public infrastructure. But again, when I began to go deeper to explain it, because of attention spans, ones began to lose what I'm saying. So then again, we say it's so simple. GPMS is a simple vote, it's a simple poll. Do you want the new, abundant, free, worry free, joyful, peaceful world? Or do you want this world that you got now? Instantly, it's a no-brainer choice. So then you just say, all right, we're the only ones doing anything worldwide to bring this into fruition. So you have a choice. If you agree with a peaceful, loving, abundant world for all, then just add your consent. Say, yes, I agree with that. Because in reality, 75% of the world already agrees with it. Unless they're lying, which I don't think is the case. But part of the things are, that the word is just not getting out in places yet enough. Thanks.
Yes, Ahi.
Yeah, and I can add to this, it's like if the heart and soul cannot see it, cannot vote it yet, the stomach will vote it yet. It's very soon, because it's like if inflation gonna jump another 30 or 40%, all logistic will stop. And if all logistic will stop, it's gonna be no food. So, I mean, if their head doesn't work, their stomach will work, and they will vote anyway. It's like it's no other chance, no other choice. It's going to be like left on the table. That's it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, this is what I see too with all the markets
Well,
going down.
yeah, if I may add just there, thanks, Sister Peterson, for allowing me to divinely interrupt. But on the back of this, that was a test in the lockdowns to see how much obedience that they would get, because part of the dark plan is martial law, then full enslavement of humanity. So again, and you're also seeing this, these are psychological tests. You're seeing this with ICE as well in the US. They're seeing and they're watching the psychological responses and resistance from the people. That so they're intentionally doing these things, right, with the ones and they're putting them in jails. And I think I just heard something the other day that some of the it wasn't clear how old they were, but some of these that ICE took in detainment camps have become pregnant as well. But I can't verify that at this moment. But but to get back, what I need to say is that they were testing the people to see how easy a military could control them, a dark military, because this is also the plan to enslave humanity, and everyone knows that was the agenda. But everyone did not know that while the darkness had an agenda plan, that divinity was already here with the plan and the solution to avoid that. No, humanity will not be enslaved. They'll be set free, and divine GPMS is what does that. Thanks.
And so Aziz is here. He's from Guardian from India. I said thank you in the GPMS account India because I started to see also some concerns coming from India. We hope that more will come. I do not know. I know that it is about language barrier with India. We hope people that are speaking both languages, they may come on GPMS meetings. But anyway, it seems that something started probably to happen in India because you have, I saw some concerns in the last probably 48 hours. So, yeah, the number of the consents it is right now above 400,000. So, as I saw in last year's, sometime the number of GPMS consents was able to double in only 1 year. So we never know when GPMS become viral, and we'll be prepared at the time 100% to share more and more, and until that time we'll share anyway. So GPMS it is share. This is important, and we remain united until more people will come. Then they will start with um, their divine intent and force, and to move forward GPMS for everyone on earth. So universal laws is not about only humanity, it is about plants, animals, planet, everything around. It is about all life on earth. And I would say everything that is happening right now in the United States and also Canada will have a ripple effect worldwide, because exactly of the immigration, as some are saying. But I try to say there is no immigrant because in reality we have no border. But anyway, because the people move from one location to another location, and they are able to speak English, that it is a common language. So they are able to understand each other via communication through one language. Then when GPMS starts to enter in North America, Canada, United States, this will have a ripple effect because it will be shared everywhere in all the corner of the world using the languages all over the world that are known today as languages, because of the so-called immigrants, that they are speaking many languages at the same time, and they understand different reality from different corners of the world, and they are coming with a lot of experience and are able to see before what may happen in Canada and United States compared with other corner of the world. And exactly as Rick is saying, all the time, Canada and the United States did not experience yet what happened in Philippines or other countries, but those coming from there, they know the story. Then they see that Canada and the United States is not protected at this time. So they are able to see the collapse, because we have many Canadian people born here that they cannot even see the collapse. It's coming. So it's not because they are blind necessarily, it is because of their experience, past experience and everything. And more and more we advance in 2026, this will become the first event like the collapse. Then after that, I hope that many will be looking for solution and they will be able to find GPMS. Yes, Rick.
Yeah, thank you. With this war, it's causing many enemies as well that will come into the future. If Divine-gpms was not here, you need to look at, for example, and this is only hearsay yet, I did not validate it. What I had heard is that the school in Minab in Iran that was hit with the U.S. missile first, um, that school, the children that went there, it was a private school with most of the government and head ones, states, children were there. And so what was proposed is that they targeted that, and then 40 minutes later, I think it was, they give enough time for, once the school was bombed, and let's say the state and government officials knew their children was in there. So what they did is they did a second strike. So they allowed for about 40 minutes to give time. And don't hold me true to this. Anyone do your own research, to give time for the state officials to get to see if their children was all right. Then boom, they hit another missile in there, is what I heard. But when you look at this, it does make perfect sense with a military strategy. But look at how sick it is. Kill their women and children. This is very evil, and to lure them in as well. And this is the predator scheme that is prevalent throughout the system with child trafficking, but also the child care services that takes the children as well. And they do these dark things. And when you look at the US again, I think it's over 400,000 in child care services in the US that these children go missing every year. And when you look at the statistics worldwide, the real ones, in the US, it's perhaps a couple or more million of children go disappearing every year in the US. And again, just to cite some statistics in the UK, that small country in 2024, I think, 83,000 children vanished in that one country alone. And again, we'll go right to Austria. Those 20,000 children, they were refugees. They come into Austria. They filled out the paperwork for asylum till they could stay there. And all of a sudden, they vanish. So you're looking at a worldwide, and this is what we began to break down with Sister Nya's case as well. Well, not break, yeah, to break it down, but to blow it wide open. This was not about Sister Nya. It was just a micro example of the whole entire predator scheme at taking children, not only in Austria, but also worldwide. See, with Sister Nya's case, the Secretariat General of, what is it, the European Human Rights Commission, I think, he was one of the guys that was named in the Epstein files, but he was also, his office at least, was one that kept receiving from us these lawful notices that we were putting out from GPMS. So still today, unless they were returned today, Sister Nya's children have not been returned. And we outlined everything lawfully, specifically, showing their own laws, how they broke them, yet they continue to do it. And not only that, we have also lawfully tore down any jurisdiction or any substantiating reasoning for any child services worldwide to take children. They don't have any authority. They cannot do it. So we have that on our Absolute Law website for any parents in a democratic country worldwide. You can put this right in court and it takes away all of their authority, is what it should do. But if they don't listen to it, you've got it recorded and documented. And then all of this evidence just keeps building worldwide and it leads to justice either way. So they cannot cover up their old deeds. And out of Austria, we see, I think, at least three, I had seen perhaps more, big amounts of cash money and gold being stopped, I think, in Hungary that is coming out of there. And these are also, I think, by some, how would you say it? These ones that are taking the money out, some of these are parts of connected, I believe, somehow to governments and well, trafficking rings, I would say as well. So you can see that where they're very afraid that now they're trying to hide money, but money is also going to the Ukraine because I'll just keep it short here because there were underground labs, but also on the surface taking children from the Ukrainian moms when they leave. And perhaps Sergey has something more to add to that. But the thing is, we're exposing it all and it can no longer be covered up. And you see the governments crumbling worldwide. And I think with that, I haven't looked, but I think Trump pretty much now has been shown to be a pedophile as well, on top of what he has done. So, this cannot be swept under the rug, these things. So you know that justice is coming. It has to.
Yeah, I can add to that what the brother Rick said about money. Yeah, it was money transferring probably to Ukraine or from Ukraine, but it was transferred by the Ukrainian soldiers or military agents who transferred probably 40 millions in gold and cash, something like that. And it was some kind of payment for sure, trafficking back and forth, whatever. And Ukrainian side said it's like a Ukrainian government bank just making a transfer, but it's like a nonsense. You can do transfer online. You don't need to carry cash and gold in a van. It's like a 20 full equipped military guys. This is nonsense. Yeah, it's like big lie. Yeah, it's behind the scenes payments for something very dark things. What is happening in Ukraine in Europe? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, brother. But also, I need to add what's occurring with the AI worldwide. As I said before, it's not allowing things to happen as well because it has to abide with law and truth. So, having said this, this would show also, see, you had like with banks, they used to work on the Tor network, the dark web with onion files to transfer large sums of money. So they would keep a record with it. But with these things, what's occurring is because of the abilities of the AI and also how it can see, let's say, these transactions, because anything ever written on the internet, no matter if you deleted it and put it in your recycle bin and also deleted it, it can be retrieved because there's always a place once it's put on there. And this is what I've mentioned before. This is why banks and governments and everything cannot hide what they ever put on the internet. It's always cached into a space. So it exposes and reveals everything. Yeah. So having said that, there is no way out of it, but this is probably what's occurring. So now they're going to cash. But when you go to cash and gold, but mostly cash, this is how ones would operate anyway, it'd be on the black market with cash, so they wouldn't have paper trails. So that's what they were using, pay cash, then there's no paper trail, how they were funding this trafficking. But I think it's a Rafusen, if I pronounced it right, bank in Austria is where some of this money come from. And this is a very, very important and very telling as well. So then you can see where you have a backing a bank. See, because a bank also can create money out of thin air. It does it every day. When it gives a person a loan, it doesn't actually have that money. It creates it. It only needs to have 10% of it, and then it's allowed to create the rest. So, that's but but that is how much they give to the public. But the actual truth is that a bank doesn't need any bullion, any backing at all. They just create at will, unlimitedly. And this is why with GPMS, no, everyone has the ability to do that and stop this silly harm. So, and yeah, just keep it short. Thanks.
Yeah, and I want to add into that. This is like already starting to show in internet the truth about Ukraine is the big hub of the children trafficking and all of this like dark things, because already the producer and actor Mel Gibson exposing whole Hollywood. They're just Hollywood organizing the tours from Europe and US to Ukraine to do the like I don't know adrenochrome tours and all of this like dark things. It's like I don't know. It's like open information. And I don't know what the people of Ukraine thinking. It's how they allow him to do it. It's like, yeah, it's very dark and very bad. Yeah. It's all going out. Yeah.
Yeah, so from some comments from Facebook, Daria Ordanova, it's saying Divine doesn't print money. So GPMS, it is divine, but it's not the divinity that is printing the money. It is about the people. So the money is unlimited. Via the implementation of universal laws, we have the right of self-determination recognized, then we have the right to print our money. And yes, it is divine because also we are divine. So it is part of the divinity too, because it is aligned with universal laws, and we have this right. So it is not a right given to the darkness to do that via the actual system. So we are already on 2 hours and a half today meeting. So personally, if somebody has something to add for this meeting, if not, we may see each other soon, like probably next week. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone that participated on the actual meeting, and thank you so much to everyone that it's following GPMS and also share the word of GPMS. Please share this meeting if you want, or listen and start to speak about GPMS. This will be much more interesting than just share. So please come also to become a representative guardian of GPMS. We need just to share the word about GPMS, then GPMS is happening. With every consent that we gather, GPMS is happening. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sister Beatrice. Yes, everyone come stand shoulder to shoulder with us, brother to sister. And we make this big and, to take care of humanity all together. We have the full happy solution. Anyone that may be looking at GPMS, I suggest to look at it on your PC on a computer rather than a phone, because you can see more, as you know. So just mentioning, if you're looking at GPMS and it's so lengthy on the phone, it is a lot of information. So it's better to set an hour aside and look at it on your computer on the PC. Then also it makes more sense to you as well, the way it is energetic. Yeah, use your phone if you already know you're doing it and that you want to consent. But what I say is if you want to understand it more, it's best to go on to the computer, take an hour or however long you need and go through it. And that way you can grasp it much quicker. So I wanted to say that. So love, light, and gratitude, everyone. And thank you, Sister Beatrice, for hosting, and all brothers and sisters that are here and that will see this. Woohoo!
It's me that I have to close the button right now. Bye bye.